Over my time making videos, I've gotten quite a few requests to make a painting tutorial, and I'd already made one in the past, but I think that this one is going to be much better. I like to think that I paint pretty well, but I use pretty much the same technique as everyone else. So if you find yourself on this video and don't feel like exiting quite yet, feel free to stick around and maybe learn a thing or two. Anyway, when I paint, I use the following materials: sandpaper, dish soap, spray paints of various colors, hand paint, I've got enamel and acrylic, brushes, and a good place to paint. The first step to a great paint job is to sand your blaster. This allows the paint to really grip onto your blaster because it gives it a lot of little handholds. I find using about 100 grit and then working your way up to a finer grit works well, but all you really want to do is sand off all of the gloss that Hasbro put on the shell. It's also extremely important to sand the handle well because that's the part of the blaster that you touch the most, and so it'd be most likely to scratch off the paint there. So this is what the shells should look like once they're all sanded. I didn't go as extensive with the sanding this time, but yeah, they look pretty good. I'm just gonna go wash them now. The second step is to wash your shells, and this will get rid of any dust or oil that's on the outside of the shell. You want to put your shell and stuff, both your shells, in your bathtub, and you're gonna turn on your water to warmer than lukewarm, and then you're gonna just run the water over the shell and use your dish soap to get all of the grease from your hands off of your shell. And you're really going to want to do this because I used to not, and every now and then I would get like a little bit of an oily spot and then the paint just would not stick there. The third step is to prime your shell. I like to give the shell a nice even base before I start painting because this just makes everything so much more uniform and nice. Be sure to use thin coats doing this and sweep from edge to edge on the shell. Remember to spray over the edge of the shell with each sweep so that you don't end up with extremely thick coats on the side. I would also recommend spraying from each end of the shell because this will give you a nice uniform coat. Step 4 is applying your main color. I would recommend adding white before adding any other actual color because it makes the color a lot easier to see without having to paint a bunch of coats. The fifth step is detailing. Using your various brush sizes and hand paints, just add paint to the shell until you get the desired effect. I like to do the large areas first and then add small details later, though you can paint your shell however you want. Step 6 is touch-ups. This is pretty self-explanatory, but you're basically cleaning up any mistakes that you made. Now for the 7th and final step, applying the clear coat. There are many different types and brands of clear coat, and choosing one is mostly based on preference, though I am using a Krylon crystal clear coat. So go ahead and use whatever you want. Some people like to use matte, some people like to use clear, some people like to use satin, some people like to use none. And that's a bad idea. And if you did everything well, and I'm pretty sure that you would because you're a smart looking guy, you should end up with a pretty sweet blaster. Anyway, if you found this tutorial helpful or just like the video in general, be sure to subscribe to my channel and like the video so that you can be notified instantly when I post another great video. Anyway, my name is Erfnay, and I hope to see you later.